Yeah, pleasant good afternoon to everyone. It's just about 2 o'clock here in beautiful Anguilla, and we are getting ready to start our boat race season. This is the warm-up race. Anytime you see Easter is coming in Anguilla, we get ready for boat racing. And we have today 4 boats in this warm-up race for the A-class boats. Starting all the way down by Roy's in Sandy Ground with the Captain Lucas sail is the Wizard. There by Barrel Stay is the Satellite. The Lighting Piece is over by Dr. Petty's house here in Sandy Ground. And then we have the Sonic starting in her usual place right there where Eddie lives, further over close to John O's on the beach. So that's the one. That's the starting signal. They just blew the horn and the boats are off. 4 of the big boats are in this race today. The Sonic, Lighting Piece, Satellite, and the Wizard. Of course, everyone knows that I'm a big fan of the Wizard. I've been converted, and I back the Wizard as of the last year and a half. The Bush boys have the boat in the water. They didn't get to set up their mast and their sails, so we just have 4 of these boats going. The Lighting Piece has taken a little clear lead on the start, not by much. And they're going out past the orange buoys or buoys where you'll see they will finish the race. The wind is touching mostly out of the north, and you can see all of the boats that are moored here in the harbor. Wherever you see the boats facing, that is where the wind is blowing. But when you get out to sea, it can always change. As you know, the wind is contrary. But for now, here in the harbor, based on where the boats are facing, the wind is coming broad out of the north. Broad out of the north, the wind is blowing. So the boats are off here out of Sandy Ground, clearing the harbor. They have to clear all of these boats. We have a lot of beautiful beaches in Anguilla, Rendezvous, Meads Bay, but Sandy Ground is a port, and it is also a place where we have a lot of boats moored. A lot of boats like to do their mooring here in Sandy Ground because it's a very safe and protected, one of the most protected harbors in the world. But definitely in Anguilla, it's one of the best harbors to have. We are here under the command of Captain Sean. Sean, say good afternoon to the people.
Good afternoon, everyone. Look out for that Wizard today.
Yeah, he's also a big fan of the Wizard. I have on board some friends with me. Say hello to the people of Anguilla.
Yeah.
Okay, and I also, just excuse me, I also have our Madam Premiers on board today watching the race. We have Cardigan, the Minister for Health and Tourism. He's in the Lighting Piece. And we have the Minister, Joseph Vanterpool. He's gone in the Wizard, so he's on my team today. And I have Madam Premier. Madam Premier, tell the people of Anguilla.
Good afternoon to everyone, and thanks for joining us with this Easter warm-up.
Which boat are you back in today?
Everybody.
Okay, that's the Premier. She's back in the entire... Yeah, she's neutral today. That's good. I'll listen out to see if she gets excited when the Sonic takes over, but for now, she's neutral. Thank you very much. Now, normally, when the wind is blowing southeast, northeast, and the boats are going west on what we call on the run, they have their sails out. But as you can see, the boats are kind of trimmed down. They have the jibs in, the sails, everything is in. The ropes are short to the inside of the boat, and that is because the wind is touching out of the north. And these races are what we call drag races, because it doesn't really lend to a lot of tacking up and down. It's going to be 1 or 2 tacks, what we call lead races. And it calls for power and speed. You got to have that speed in your keel today if you're going to go places. And as you can see, the Sonic is lagging here somewhat behind. You can see that the Wizard and the Lighting Piece have taken a clear lead, with the Lighting Piece being windward to the north and the Wizard down in Bucks Bay, and the Satellite and the Sonic is a few minutes behind. So we'll keep watch, and we'll tell you a little more what's going on if there are any changes in a few moments. As you can see, the Sonic just picked up 1 or 2 good crops of wind. She has her jib full and her sail, her main sail full. The jib is a small gray sail that you see to the front, and the main sail is the white sail in the back. Those jibs in the bottom are about 17, 18 feet in most of the boats. And the white sail, which is the main sail, that can be anything close to 40 feet of sail in the mast. The mast is the silver metal pole that goes from the center of the boat up in the air, and the boom is the other silver metal that you see going flat. And those boats carry about 20, 22, 23 men. It varies sometimes based on the races and the availability of the men. But definitely we have to applaud our young men, mostly young men. We have to applaud our young women of lately. A lot of young women have been coming out during the holiday time and August season to race. So boat racing is going to have a strong history here in Anguilla, and we look forward to doing more for it. Definitely the prizes have to increase. That's one of the things that is flooding my heart for this sport, this national sport of boat racing, is to see the prizes get up there. We always say that money is not everything, but one thing I've learned in my life, it is not everything. That's true, but it is right up there high on the list with oxygen. Money is on the list with oxygen. You need it for living. So we have to pump the money in this sport, encourage our young men, let them know that our forebears did it for the love and the fun of the sport, for competition, for community, for fellowship, and for pushing Anguilla forward. But the money has got to come now to this sport to truly make it the great sport that it is. And if you look ashore, you can see there's a lot of construction going on. Anguilla is a great place to come and live, come and visit. So come enjoy the beaches, enjoy the people, enjoy the food, enjoy the restaurants. There's a lot of people investing now in restaurants. We have a lot of beautiful restaurants here in Anguilla, Sharky's, you name it, we have it. Picante just built a new restaurant on the road to West End. Beautiful, beautiful. On my way to home, it's one of the things that I relish. I just love that effort that Tehran and his wife put in there. It's very good. So you can see now that the Wizard is down the lee side, on the inside south, but she has taken the lead by about 30 seconds. The lighting piece is closer here to me with the Maljohanna sail, and she's in second place. The Satellite is on the inside as well, following in the tracks of the Wizard. She's holding third for now. And the Sonic, Eddie, one of the captains that I respect highly in this sport, as well as Mumba from Island Harbor. Those guys are 2 of the middle-aged captains that I respect a lot because they have raced a lot of races against some of the best in Anguilla. I'm talking about Ed Carty, I'm talking about Errol Carew Romney, George Romney, some of the best captains they've faced. Taste Lawrence Romney out of Blowing Point. So Eddie and Mumba, I respect them a lot. But Eddie today is in 4th place. I have on board, amazingly talking about the past, I have here the grandson of a man who put a lot in, the late, great Pastor Davis Lloyd. Ricky, say hello to the people of Anguilla.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, Ricky, he just encouraged me a little bit. He wants to bring back the WAS in a way. It's a big effort. I've been involved with boat racing in Blowing Point, and I told him that I appreciate as a young man, he wants to bring back the WAS in some capacity.
The Island Harbor boats back on the water, more Island Harbor boats is the key for the next 4 years, few years is to get our harbor boats back on the water and dominate again.
Hey, careful saying
How we
dominate.
used to back in the days. So that's the goal in the near future, to get our harbor boats back on top. So we're gonna help out any way we can to make that happen.
All right, so I'll be looking forward to the return of the Wasp. And in Blowing Point, we had the Stinger. We also have to look forward to the return of the Stinger. Charlie there in Blowing Point. Charlie Hodge, the late Charlie Hodge, he put a lot into that. We have Erin Hodge, who has also put a lot into boat racing with the speed and comfort. She is not here today, but definitely we appreciate Erin Hodge for the investment and the monies that he has spent in our national sport. We appreciate everyone. So we are here on the run. The Wizard has taken a little bit of a lead. I judge it to be about 30 seconds. The Lighting Piece is in front of the Satellite by about 15 seconds, and the Satellite is in front of Eddie by about 10 seconds. So it is not a lot of distance to talk about, but when you have fast boats like the Wizard, you do not want that boat to go around first in front of you, because it may just be that all you will see and remember of the race is the stunt of the Wizard. So far, the Wizard is out in front. And another young man that I love coming up in the sport race is Captain Derek. I like the kind of mind he has for racing. If he gets you under his control, he doesn't waste time to cripple you. And we got to show them that when we come out here, we didn't come to play. Show them that when we come out here, we didn't come to play. Because you know a lot of people like to brag, and you cannot let them down. Here you see one of the lovely yachts. We have a lot of yachts, all sizes of yachts that come to Anguilla. If you love boating, you got to come to Anguilla. Beautiful water, nice climate, lovely days, lots of beaches, beautiful keys. Yeah, you got to come to Anguilla if you love boating. I spoke with Derek, the captain for the Wizard, a few days ago. He told me he had a new boom. So I getting the captain to go a little close. Let me find out if we are trying the new boom. We're going to put the new boom on them today. Oh, I got a new boom. I got on the new boom. All right. So Derek is wearing his old clothes today, old boom, old mask, sailing. But he has a boom for the Wizard. And that boom is the one that is level, the one that is closest down to the hull of the boat. And that can run anything like 4,000 US dollars just to set it up and rig it, get it here in Anguilla. So that metal that you see there, the one closest down inside the boat, that alone costs about 5,000 US dollars. And it's made out of aluminum, and they well on all the fittings on it to connect the rope, and has it connected to what we call the travel iron, which is a little silver iron in the very stern of the boat, where you see the rudder that is controlling the boat. Yes, a lot of beautiful yachts. Yes, we have a mega yacht following the race. heading now past Long Bay. We are just now past Long Bay Beach. This race started in Sand Ground. We are what we call on the run. When heading west, boat race, we say we are on the run. And normally we have the mainsails and the jibs free. I think they're doing 2 laps today. If time permits, they should do the 2 laps that they advertise. So we're going to wait. So we are still on lap 1 in the other parts of the race. And the Wizard is still out front. The lighting piece about 10 seconds away. The Satellite has gained some ground now on the lighting piece. So I would say about 5 seconds behind the lighting piece. And the Sonic is about 5 seconds behind the Satellite. So the boats are still very close. And we are still heading west, just outside of Long Bay. You can see the original villa. It was built down here. This beautiful Long Bay. We are one of the original restaurants that started this whole culinary exercise in Anguilla. A lot of the food appreciation that people had in history for Anguilla started out right here in this Long Bay area with one of our very own Oliver, a young Anguillian in the Long Bay area, had his restaurant down here in Long Bay, and he did a lot to promote and push Anguilla. And this is a very fantastic area. It's one of the last areas that is going to be developed and built out with a hotel project or some kind of project. But definitely it's a beautiful area, a beautiful beach, rated among the best in Anguilla. But you know, people who come here, they love Mies Bay, they love Rendezvous Bay, and they love Shoal Bay and Sand Ground. Those are what people right now are calling the top beaches in Anguilla. But every beach in Anguilla has its own unique features. And Darwin is out there shouting that we need to watch where we're going because he believes we're in the way of the Sonic. You know, he's a big fan of the Sonic. And I believe today he has a case of malt on the Sonic that he is definitely, in my heart of hearts, I believe he's going to lose that whole case. But he's brave enough to put 24 bottles today down on the Sonic. Yeah, we're watching out for the Sonic. Take it easy. You're last right now, Darwin. And that's a lovely little motorboat. They are very beautiful. I love the blue. It's a very nice deep blue. Here again, you see one of the things people love about Anguilla: the villas, the beaches, the people, the food. We are looking again at one of a very beautiful project down here on the Long Bay Beach. And you can see these villas all in white. Very beautiful project.
Okay, we get one up. We get one the fast boat there. We going. Say we sabotage in here.
Don't be afraid. Another good young man coming up as well in the sport is Roy's son. He's a very good captain. I saw him one day in a race where definitely anybody with a hot head would have sank one of these racing boats. When the boat came from down his lee side and passed him, rolling him out, what I call jib and boom style. The back sail is just barely getting away from his jib. Very tense moment in boat racing. And he kept his calm and he pushed it and cleared the other boat and allowed her to go. He went inside Mees Bay, he made a half moon, and he came back out and put the boat hardly. And that is true sportsmanship. When you're leading, it's hard to give up your lead, but he did it. He put her hardly, and then he took control of the race, and he won that race. So Kenny, yes, I have a lot of respect for Kenny as well in this sport. Yes, so you can see Captain Derek. Captain Derek has his hand on what we call the tiller. And when he pushes that away from him, we call that slackening to the boat. And when he pulls it to his chest, we call that holding a tighter, shade tighter, speed. That's where the boat gets, he put more pressure on the sail and the jib. All of that wind and that pressure goes in the boom, the mast. It goes into a bench that's inside the front of the boat. And that's called the bow tart. And all of that pressure from the wind in the sails is what is pushing the boat. And the guys are already calling for bags of sugar. Bags of sugar back in boat race. And the Wizard has increased her lead by 3 seconds or so now in this race. Clearly, the Satellite and the Lightning Piece are now neck and neck, with the Satellite inside to Anguilla and the Lightning Piece on the outside, but they are very close. Anybody in the Satellite has put his hand up now could barely shake the horse in the Lightning Piece. So they are running neck and neck, second and third. Still in fourth place, which is last, because we have 4 boats in this race. She seems to be struggling a little bit today, coming to run. Veteran, racing for time. He may be trying something new today. I don't know. I have not spoken to him if he makes changes. But he normally runs better than he's running today going west. But we'll wait for when they go around the marker back upwind to see what is going on. So one of the things Anguilla is very, very known for is hotels. And we got some of the best 5-star hotels. If there's something called a 6-star and a 7-star, I think Anguilla is going to be one of the first places to declare it. Because we have beautiful hotels here. This is the Mal Johanna Hotel here in West End. And you can see it's a beautiful hotel property. It's up high on the bluff, and then it has one of the biggest beaches next to it in the world. I don't think there's any beach as big and as beautiful as this. This is a beautiful 2-3 miles of beach here. in Anguilla, Western Anguilla. So this is Meads Bay, this is Marijuana Hotel, and up until the yellow is the Marijuana Hotel. The brown that you see there, that's the Caramar Villas. And you see a lot of this when you're following the boat race. The Wizard is still in front. The Wizard is still in the lead. Getting a little drop of wind there now. So they're kind of slacking up the jib, they're slacking out the mainsail. And you could see it's kind of out laterally now from the boat. The lighting piece has gone ahead of the satellite by 2 seconds. And the Sonic is now coming still in fourth place in the rear by about 10-15 seconds. So still a very interesting race. And that blue motorboat that may come up there in your view is Lady Kimisha, and that is Kenny's dad, Roy. I raced with him a lot in the Natalie. Those were the days when the Natalie was a boat that came along. As so often it happens in any sport, she dominated for a long time. The Natalie out of owned by Nat, the late Nat, out of St. Martin. Those were the days when Wowo and those guys who love boat racing in St. Martin would come to Anguilla, and the Anguilla guys would captain some of their boats. But in those days, you had almost 20, 30 boats racing at any given time. So we have to bring back a lot more of the excitement and build the sport back to those early years in terms of the level of excitement and camaraderie and intermingling with St. Martin and some of the other neighboring islands. We're still down here now in the foot of Meads Bay. In the middle of the foot of Meads Bay, we're heading. And looking along this lovely beach here in Anguilla, I see a lot of boats from St. Martin, St. Bart's. A lot of people come to go to the restaurants here, enjoy themselves. I see the beach house. I see the signature villas. Very lovely. I see turtles. And the hotel. Beautiful property. And one of my brands in Anguilla with Ocean Echo. If you come to Anguilla, you make sure that you go down there, Meads Bay to Ocean Echo. And the girls, and enjoy yourself a good time on one of Anguilla's best beaches at Ocean Echo. Right next to the box down is Savvy, and a lot of people as well. They come to Savvy right next to Savvy. Operated hotel here at the foot of Meads Bay, going into Barnes Bay, and it's a very beautiful property. Again, something very productive, something that, as I said before, I'm not going to talk about it all day to day, but the money has got to come to this sport because money is right up there on the list with yeah, that's okay. But why I go closer, Sean? Okay. See when the boat's trimming. So the first marker is down. The first marker is down. The first marker is down. And you can see that the first marker is down. There's a blue boat right west of the marker. You can see that orange marker. All of the boats are now heading for that marker. And the second marker is also down a little further to the northwest of that. But they're going to go around this first marker. You're going to see them start to pull the sails in a little closer. And then they're going to go around the last marker, the second one. And you're going to see a lot of movement in the boats. They're going to start to pull all of the sails. The jib, the small one to the front, the main sail in the back, all of that is going to come in. And you're going to see a lot of men moving up and down because it's time to go to work. And everybody in the boat has their role to play. You have 3 or 4 guys that hauls the ropes in the back to bring in the big sail. And you have another 3 guys in the front that brings in the little sail, the jib. The boat is called the gunnel. Everybody one of and the jib is on around here today. The beautiful that has gone, and she is going by almost a minute and a half. The first marker. She is now headed for the second marker. Jib, the wizard is fully trimming down. She's gone around the second marker. They are trimming mains, and the wizard is heading to the lightning piece has come around and has done the first marker. Eddie is still another minute or 2 behind, but the wizard has gone to the north. And the lightning piece is heading now to the second marker. And the lightning piece is now going around the second marker. Jib, sheet. You can see the men working in the boat. And the satellite is close behind. The satellite is close behind. And you can see the satellite. Jib, sheet. Jib, sheet. The captain is calling for jib and sheet. And he's pushing the tiller down the lee side, keeping the satellite to windward. And they are pulling on the mainsail. You see the men in the boat working. That's the work that has to be done. It's got to be done if you're going to compete in boat racing. You have to work. Ain't no easy days out here. And the Wizard has just pushed it going back to the south, back to Anguilla land. Derek is not playing. As I said before, Derek is a young man. If he's here, he's going to cripple you. And today he's not playing. He's already gone back to the south. Derek has pushed it here in the foot of Barnes Bay. He's going back to the south. It's still going to the north. Eddie is now coming around the second marker. The side and the left piece is back to the north. But the Wizard has made an attack back on the inside of Mees Bay. We'll wait to see what's happening. Just over his thumb. Okay? Like this. John, this you. And as you can see, the satellite is not doing a whole lot more than the lightning piece. Exactly in her rate. Going to the Eddie is pouring to the north now. And he's in fourth place. Only 4 boats racing. We say last. He just slack a little bit to her. Go north, Eddie. Go north, boy. And you can see there's a girl in the boat, a lady. Very beautiful with her shades in between the guys. And that's what we're talking about. Everybody's getting involved in boat race. So we're here now in the stun of the Sonic, and 3 boats are bound to the north. Derek once again has pushed it from inside south Mees Bay. Derek is now a good minute and a half over these boats, but he's also bound to the north. Derek is going back to the north as well. The lightning piece leading these 3 boats to the north, the Satellite and the Sonic. We want to see what's happening. Whatever he got in the keel, he's trying it out today on the sea. And Kenny is letting go the hiding piece. She is going east like a rocket. Like a rocket, Kenny is not playing with that lightning piece. But Derek has crossed him, going to the north, and the lightning piece is going inside Meesway, top of Marijuana Hotel here in Anguilla. Eddie has pushed it. He's coming inside south as well. The satellite is still going to the north. Satellite is still going to the north. And the satellite just pushed it. The satellite is now coming back to the south. She's just coming about now. Then, as I said before, he's not playing. Derek has also pushed. As he crossed the lighting piece, 2 jumps to the north. Derek has pushed it over the lighting piece. The lighting piece come to the south, back to Anguilla. He's doing his best. You can see him locking the tiller. And the lighting piece is scattering. The wizard is also scattering to the north, to the south. Bunk for Anguilla land. Everybody is back in south. The Sonic back in south. The satellite back in south. But it is the 2 Greyhounds going up the road here, pound for pound. And the wizard barely has the edge today. About a minute and a half to the north. But Kenny is not playing with this light piece. He got his 2 hands hugging up that tiller. He got that tiller over. I think she got his heel. Kenny come out today. Is doing something fantastic. Kenny is jumping out here under the lee, but the wizard is a little bit windward. He's got a sailing to do, but the lighting piece is scattering going inside here, just outside of Marijuana. Maybe he's upset. There's a little bit, not by much, but Kenny is going up the road like a rocket. And he's even giving up to the win because he's already of the belief that he is in front and Kenny doesn't have to catch him. So now and again he holding her, but mostly slacking to her and taking whatever he get up the road. And our premier is on board, enjoying the race. As she says, she's back in every boat today. But she's seated, having her drink now. Is on her side. Good sailing breeze. 14, 15 knots. Nothing too crazy. Good wind for sailing. Then if your boat have speed, you could use it up. And the wind is gone. This may have to settle for second today. As Derek is up the road with a lee helm. He ain't looking for nothing more. Look, is doing it. She's marijuana. We'll be in. They may be going back for 2 minutes at advertising. It's definitely on maximum speed. So the wind is touching out of the north. So these boats are basically going directly due east. Due east. These two boats, all of the boats, going due east. The wind is touching out of the north, broad in their jib and sail, and they are up the road. And right here where the lightning piece is now, this is what we call being down the lee side. So the lightning piece is down the lee side of the Wizard, and they are still bouncing out to the land. And as you can see now, the two boats are sailing pound for pound, sailing equally well. But I don't think today the lightning piece will be able to get out. But a boat, you know, is based on wind, little change of boating. You never seen. And if you're looking at Kenny now, you can see Kenny has the tiller up to his ear. Lighting piece. He's got the lighting piece carrying. Kenny is asking the lighting piece, baby, give me everything you got in that keel. As you can see, people come out to follow the race. Big boats, middle-sized boats, and yes, even engines. The engine following the race, enjoying himself here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Anguilla. And if you look ashore, you'll see a lot of Anguillians all follow the race in their cars. People take the time out, full the cars of gas, drive all around in the different bush tracks, different scenic areas, wherever they can get a glimpse of the boat race to see what's for themselves. So this is a very lovely sport in Anguilla. It is heavily supported by the population here in Anguilla. And we love boat racing. It is our thing. To put one of these boats could easily we have built. And the people in that jet coming into Anguilla now must be delighted to see these sailing boats as well. As they look out of the window, they should be able to take in some of this boat racing. And they're coming to beautiful Anguilla. The lightning piece is still down the lee side of the Wizard. Kenny has done some of everything today, but he's not getting out from under the lee of Derek today. The Wizard, Captain Derek in the Wizard, Captain Kenny in the lightning piece. And the lightning piece is holding a steady second. She's not gaining any ground. She's not losing any ground. These two boats have sailed for almost 25 minutes now, pound for pound, heading south into Anguilla land, going back to sandy ground. The Sonic and the Satellite is third and fourth place. The Satellite in third, and the Sonic is under the lee of the Satellite coming here south. What you see on the camera here with the Wizard and the lightning piece is the exact same thing you would see with the Satellite over the Sonic. The Sonic is down the lee side of the Satellite, same way as the lightning piece is down the lee side of the Wizard. And they are coming inside pound for pound to the south as well, third and fourth place. It's got key seconds separated out of that 20 to 30 seconds. The first and the second boat is separated by about 20 seconds and so about 2 minutes behind. So it's that the on the satellite and the sonic. But in boat race, never say never. I remember one day that was going on, they turned back and it was almost in the ground in the tree into the tree turned back around after being some 7 minutes out of the race and split and won that race. So same thing, you're gonna overcome. Kenny is putting pressure on the lightning piece. He's pulling that tiller up to his neck, his ears. He's locking the lightning piece. Every little bit of wind he gets, he's scattering inside to the south. Almost best. And she's holding on to first place for now. And she just got a good crop of wind. And she's throwing water halfway up her mast. Halfway up the mast, the wizard is now throwing water. And Derek himself is putting pressure on the wizard to get into center ground for this first lap. What you're seeing there is the Sonic closing in on the satellite, third and fourth place. And those two boats are also sailing coming up the road. The Wizard and the Lightning Piece is just outside Isaac's Cliff, Yellow Cliff, for a box outside of Sandy Ground, while the Sonic and the satellite is outside of Maljohanna, to the head of Maljohanna, Long Beach, coming east. So the Wizard is about 15 seconds ahead of the Lightning Piece, and the Lightning Piece is about a minute and a half ahead of the satellite. Closing. ¿Todo bien? to get hard see here.
All of that sweetness in it.
Huh?
All that talk is sweetness in it.
And I told Darwin that I could give him a case of Iramal, the satellite, the Sonic with the wizard. And I believe he should be calling somebody now to find a freezer somewhere and get them cool. These two boats, Light and Peace, the Wizard, still pound for pound, coming up inside to the south. These boats come from all the way down outside of Mees Bay, Barnes Bay, straight center ground because the wind is blowing out of the north. And so this is what we call a drag race, a lead race. Not much tacking up and down today because the wind is blowing out of the north, so the boats can hold a straight direction going east. Yeah. And we will ask the Premier if she's still neutral. You're still neutral or you're fine, want to back?
Supporting everybody.
All right, she's still supporting everybody. So the Premier is leading and she's getting some licks as well. She's backing everybody today. Derek just catch another good crop and the Wizard is scattering. And if you watch Kenny, you could see Kenny is holding that tiller to his ears, holding that tiller to his neck. Kenny is fighting the fight today. He's not giving up. And that's what you got to have in here if you want to be a winner. Kenny is doing everything he can to get the distance between himself and the Wizard down to nothing. But he has his work cut out for him today. It's not an easy task. That Wizard is on all four wheels today, going to the south, going to the north. But right now she's going into the south, going into Santa Ground. Crocus Bay is now in view. Lots of yachts, lots of mega yachts. $1 million boats is anchored out in Crocus Bay. But this race is going into Santa Ground. And it's a beautiful race. Not a lot of changes, but a beautiful race nonetheless. Overhead is Anguilla or Air Anguilla, one of our lovely small aviation services here in Anguilla. If you want to disembark, if you want to go to Antigua, if you want to go to Tortola, wherever you want to go, we can take you from Anguilla. We have our very own Anguillians in the aviation industry doing a fantastic job. And we also have American Airlines and others. We have direct flights now in and out of Anguilla, which we appreciate so much for the that's brought to our country. And we continue to push Anguilla to our optimal levels. If you want a good place to live, you get here, baby. You gotta be walking. Where the button be? Yes, Derek is keeling out the wizard. For the first time today, I am seeing under the wizard. Derek is keeling out the wizard. He's showing them that if I want a little more, I got it. Side the board, boys. Up on your side. Left her go, Derek. Derek is letting the wizard go, and she's going inside. He could not ask the wizard to do anything more today. She is going like a rocket inside south to stand the ground. And I believe Kenny may have to tell himself sometime, I'm going to hold my second today and let it go. Kenny going to fight on. Which camera working?
Miguel. Yo. Light the piece.
And Derek has done a fantastic thing here that I like to see in boat racing. A lot of people in boat racing like to be windward. I don't like to be windward when you're going to a stake. I like to be in front. Put your stun in front of the bow of the boat behind you. A straight line. I like to see that straight line. Because a boat under your lee going home to a dry flag could be a dangerous thing. Some boats that just get up because the captain just decided he gonna lock her, he gonna spread her, and he get out from under you and he beat you just by a few inches to the stake from under your lee. So Derek has done a fantastic thing here. The distance that Derek had windward of the lightning piece, he has now converted that to boom and bow. Not side and side, boom and bow. And you could see here, it's a straight line. The lightning piece has put, the wizard has put the lightning piece bow in her stun. And that now is the right real distance. You could see it there now. Derek has put the distance that he had over the lightning piece, boom and stun. And what Kenny is now seeing for the first time today is the stun of the wizard. And he's got to watch that all day if he don't find a little bit more speed in that lightning piece. We are back here inside the ground. The wizard got out in front, maintained it, went the marker in front, went around the and inside. Slack to her. She And this is the end of the first lap. And the Wizard is going through the markers now. The Wizard has made on the first lap. Going back for the second and final lap. And as you can see, it's a keenly contested race. Captain Kenny in the lighting piece is coming through now. He is coming through the markers, and Kenny is now pushing it down. Lee Hellam, he's pushing it down. He just pushed it and brought the lighting piece about. And the two boats are now headed back to the west on their final lap. And we are going to go all the way down to Barnes Bay again. And there's a little bit of tension going on in the lighting piece. When you come out to race these boats, be prepared to hear some of everything and see some of everything, because feelings run high when the race gets hot like this. So the lighting piece is now getting fully started, and they are on the run, pinning down the mainsail and the jib, setting up. And the Wizard is still taking the lead. The lighting piece is second, and the Satellite is third. The Sonic is fourth, and the Satellite and the Sonic, in my estimation, is not at their best on their first setup for the racing season. Sometimes when these boats set up, you just don't get it right until after 1 or 2 or 3 races. Sometimes after 12 races, you can't get it right. It's not an easy science. But some people have been able to mark how they tighten in the cables, how much ballast they're putting in. Some people have that down to a science. It's a science, it's an art, it's a technique. Because these boats have to be taken down, everything is taken off, the boats are taken out of the water, and when you put them back in to set them up to race, sometimes you don't get it right. And I believe that the Satellite and the Sonic may not have gotten it completely right today. They are not at their best. And when you're racing against the lighting piece and the Wizard, hey, you have to be at your best. You got to come with your best. Is that your best? You got to come with it. Because when those two boats are at their best, no plane. And it seems as if the Sonic has outreached the Satellite coming on this drag to sand the ground. The Sonic is going to go in third place at the end of the first lap, and she's going to go about a minute ahead of the Satellite. So the Sonic clearly stayed from under the lee of the Satellite and outsailed her on the reach. And she is going now through the stake here in third place on the first turn. Not a bad effort, but clearly to get up in the front first and second boat, Eddie has got to look for something more for next week for Festival Del Mar. Wherever you are in the world, come to Anguilla next week. Big weekend in Anguilla for Easter. We have Festival Del Mar, Saturday, Sunday, boat racing as well. And then there's a big boat race, Easter Monday boat race. Every Easter Monday that race is being held by Neil and the boys, and we want to thank Neil for the years that he has put into maintaining that, and all of the supporters and the sponsors. But they have done a fantastic job over the many, many years. I'm talking about 40, 50 years plus. They have kept that Easter Monday Egg Butt Corner boat race going. And when you hear the name Egg Butt Corner, that's another big name in boat race. In all the days, these guys used to build the boats out of cotton and wood. They ain't had nothing called resin and all of that to caulk boats. You had to caulk these boats with mop, the pieces that you make for the mop. Yes, it was an art, it was a technique, it was a science to put wood and those materials together to take a boat out to sea. So this boat racing has a rich cultural heritage. A lot has gone into it. And we now in this generation has got to come with one of the last things needed to make this sport as great as it should be. We've got to get the money behind it. Everybody who's interested in love boat race has got to be calling out for the money. And don't ask where the money gonna come from. It gotta come. We got to invest in this now for our young men and make this sport great. The NBA in America, they put the money in the NBA football. They put the money in the football. people who know where the money is in a sport, those are the people that really come forward now for Anguilla. Push boat racing up to great heights. Hey, how you doing? Away by a few more boat lengths than what they finished the first lap with. So the Wizard is now 1 minute ahead of the Lightning Beast once again. And we are headed to the west, back past Isaac's Cliff. We'll be headed into Long Bay. We'll be headed into Barnes Bay. We'll go around the markers once again, and I can tell you, Derek may not go too far to the north, but we're going to watch and see. But I believe from this first experience, he has seen what the Wizard is doing, and I believe that Derek, as he goes around the marker, the forward man and the crew may be calling to go back south one time. So we're going to wait and see if Derek will be going back to the south as soon as he goes around. That is my guess. I know boat racing. I love it. I've done it for many, many years. And in my heart, I believe that that is what Derek will do. As he comes around the marker in Barnes Bay, he may go with his head to the north, trim the boat down, push it one time, go back to the south, and go up the road home to his dry flag. It's dry flag time. When we say dry flag, that's the end of the race. It means that you're first, because everybody else touching that flag after you done push it in the sea and wet it up, them can't touch no dry flag again. So anytime you hear the term dry flag in boat racing, it's just another way of saying first prize. After first prize, the flag is wet. Once again, for those of you who are watching, the back of the boat, you see there's a little yellow piece of in gray outside the boat. That's the rudder. Attached to that is a long pole that the captain is holding in his hand. That is called the tiller. And that is how he maneuvers the rudder. When he pulls it to him, we say he's locking, he's holding her. And when he pushes it away from him, we say he's slackening, he's going on the wind. Then you have the ropes attached to a silver metal in the stern of the boat. That silver metal is called the travel iron. And that is what is holding the pressure of those ropes attached to the mainsail. The boat itself is called the hull. Silver. The silver one that is going up and down called the mast. And you have those cables attached to the hull of the boat onto the mast. Those are called the straws. Some boats carry 2 straws and some carry 3. And the small sail is the jib, and that's attached to the bow of the boat. And it goes through some blocks, some pulleys. They have pulleys down inside the boat. They run the ropes from the small sail through those pulleys and pull them to adjust the sails. And down inside of the boat, down the keel on the inside of the boat, they have bags of sand over about 4,000 pounds. In the old time days, the guys used to use these smooth sea rocks that you find mostly in St. Martin, in those places that have those kind of rocks. And those rocks are not easily found here in Anguilla. But those rocks are very heavy, they're very smooth, and those were the balancing rocks that they used to use before for ballast. But now everybody has gone to lead. And I think the man that gets most of the credit for transforming the difficulty of those rocks to lead may very well be the late owner of the Concord, the late great Evan Oins. He was the first person, I believe, in my early years of racing. I could be corrected, but I believe in my early days of racing, Mr. Evan Oins was the first person that came up with the Concord and led. I can very well remember, we call him in Blowing Point. He was leading a race with Errol Romney and Natalie, and Dundee was a fight. Came about 3 or 4 times, just a little bit. And I believe the Concord at that time came out around that era, head in her bottom. The boats used whatever technique you have it out on the road, and then everybody started to go to lead. Mumba for Island Harbor, he also has done a number of innovations. I think one of the first boats I see that came up with the spreaders to help stabilize the mast with the pressure from the jib and so forth may have been him. He's a harbor who has done a lot for boat racing in the early days, especially when the UFO was dominating the sport. He did a lot for innovation and in boat race as well. And then you have the Romney brothers in Blonde Point, Tates, my late partner, Carew Errol, and George Chicks. So a lot of people have put into make this sport what it is over the years. And the lighting piece, we always remember, whenever we see the lighting piece, we remember one of the greatest men that I've ever met in my lifetime, the late Albert Hughes. And he was special to me for a lot of reasons. But when it comes to boat racing, he is very special. He's put a lot of money along with the Western community into boat racing. He has invested a lot of sacred time into making sure that that village remains vibrant and competitive in the sport. And we see Carter Connor sitting there among the men in that boat, which is also commendable. And we have Jose, who is in the Wizard today. So we have a lot of people that put a lot of time and energy into boat racing. It's a good time for fellowship, camaraderie, fellowship, unity, just socializing for the most part with men. But as I said, a lot of women, especially young ladies, have been racing of late, and that makes it even more beautiful. Because women are just special, you know. Wherever women go, they are just special. And like I said, today we have our first female premier is on board here in the Sahara with me watching the race. And I think she herself at some point did go in one of the boats last year. So when we start to talk about pumping money in the boat race, at the very high levels in government, high levels in the hotel industry, high levels all around. We have only now to come with the willpower to put the money behind the sport. These boats today are racing for just over $1,000 first prize. And like I said before, $1,000 cannot really buy a lot for these boats. So these boats are spending hours racing, not for the money. Definitely, we have not done it here in Anguilla over the years for the money. It's all about love of sport, love of culture, love of competition. And that's a big part of the talk that you get. You meet a fella like Miller, Raymond, Basil the barber. If you walk down the beach, you know they will tell you bigness is badness. Because we make a little fun of them with the Sonic. When they bill over, they make her bigger. So we tell them bigness is not badness. Bill as big as you want, that don't mean you're going to win. So when them guys come a show in front of you, the first thing them watch you in your face and tell you bigness is badness. But today, bigness is not badness. Tell Basil tomorrow when you go to cut your hair in the barber shop, wherever you see Basil tomorrow in Eddie, tell them that bigness is not badness today. We're still in Wizard country, and the Wizard is now leading in this race by a minute ahead of the Lightning Piece. And Kenny is there wondering what he can do today. He has a lead race. The wind is broad out of the knot. In his heart, he believes the same thing I believe. As soon as Derek goes around with his head to the knot, Derek is going to trim his boat down, push it down one time, and let Kenny take a good look at his stun for the next 45 minutes sailing back to standing ground. Kenny has got to come up with a plan. The wind is out of the knot today, not a lot of room for tacking around. It doesn't make sense to try to call back a boat because the captain is not going to bother with that today. Anybody who has experience is not going to waste their time tacking around, going north and south today because the wind is over your beams, it's broad out of the knot, and it's an easy sailing going home to your dry flag. And we'll watch and wait and see how Derek will do this. But I believe Derek, as soon as he comes around in the foot of Barnes Bay, he's going to show Kenny his stun back to the south, back to his dry flag. And the Wizard, unless something goes terribly wrong, or unless Kenny find extra super speed today, I can stay from right here and tell you, I can tell Darwin mustn't done for sure. Cold malt, I could feel it in my throat already. That cold Vita malt is already tingling my throat, Darwin. Get them in the freezer for me, son. We are once again the leading boats in the middle of Long Bay Beach, just outside the beautiful villas here at the Long Bay Beach, just outside Long Bay Villas. And everywhere you look around now in Anguilla, there's some development going on. Everybody has come to realize that Anguilla is the place to be. They're coming here, they're buying homes, and they're just taking a vacation, living among us, enjoying the good life. And we say, welcome to Anguilla. Bring everybody you know, come and live among us in unity and love. And there's a very fine cable from the stern of the boat up the mast. If you look good, you're going to see a cable. You have to look good to see it. It's a very small cable. Whenever the boat is going downwind, that cable helps to hold the mast from going too far forward and breaking. In the event that a lot of wind blow in that sail, sometimes it carries the mast forward, it can break. So that cable there that you see from the stern of the boat by UL, that is called the jumper stay. That cable is the head holder. When too much wind goes in that sail, forcing the mass, breaking it by going too far. These boats and their equipment comes under a lot of pressure, lots of pressure. It is pressure that makes them go. And Dougie is in the Disha, that blue motorboat. He's having a talk with the guys in the Wizard. And Dougie is one of our best divers here on the island. I believe he has a diving business as well. So if you come to Anguilla and you want to go diving, you check out Dougie as well. And a few other people does diving as well. I think Matthew, he has diving as well. So diving is a big sport here on the island. You could check out any of these guys for diving and enjoy yourself diving at the different spots here in Anguilla. But the Wizard is clearly on the run to the west, still holding on to first place. And it's going to be by some miracle or some great feat that Kenny will get out of second place today and end up first in Stand the Ground. But a lot of people who are now watching basically has come to the same conclusion as I have, that it's going to be the Wizard, it's going to be Derek Country all over again today. Clearly this one should be put to bed right about now. But as I said before, in boat racing, oh boy, you just never know. One of the things you'll see a lot is a lot of boats. We have almost 15 boats following this race today. And every time during Easter, during August, we have a lot of people who take time out with their family, their friends, their loved ones. They fuel up their boats and they get out to enjoy boat racing, enjoy the sea, enjoy the scenery around Anguilla. You know, this is therapeutic. It's a big part of the lifestyle here in Anguilla. So a lot of people have come out today for this warm-up race, and a good number of boats are following the race. Anguilla Day, which is May the 30th, I believe it falls on a weekend, so they have it. The first Monday in June may be a holiday. I think Anguilla Day falls on a weekend this year. We go to Anguilla for Anguilla Day. We go around the entire island. It's beautiful. We stop at all the beaches. We swim at all the beaches and wait for the sailing boats to come. Oh man, it's a beautiful experience. And I've never gotten tired of doing it, not even once. The ladies come out in their very best, and a lot of boats come all around the Caribbean. Fancy boats, nice boats. Everybody's well dressed, food, music. You gotta come and have that experience, okay? It's a lifetime experience. You gotta have it. Now back to the head of house. Blanchard's, of course, one of our big, nice in the day. We go down to Mees Bay Villas, very nice little boutique hotel on Mees Bay Beach. I love that property. And then one of my favorites, and one of my big favorites when it comes to events, I've said it before and again, Ocean Echo, baby. You got to come and experience great food in great location on a great beach. And then you go down to Savvy, and then you go on to Four Seasons Hotel, Viceroy. Give me a drink here, please. Orange juice and ice. That for the crew? Or that for you? Hey, everybody. Can't be everybody, Sean.
Just grab a mic in your hand. No problem.
I'm here taking a rib now from the captain. Thank you. Padre, mira. We are coming to East Bay, and the Wizard is still leading. The Sonic is in third place, and the Satellite is in fourth. And you're looking at one of our lovely boats here in Anguilla. If you come to do charters, we have a number of boats that do charters. This is one of the boats here that does charters, open sea charters. I think the name of the company is Open Sea. And on the other side, you have Good Living Charters. You have Gotcha. You have Calypso. A number of good boats that you can, companies that you can charter from, go out on the sea, go to a small island, visit a small key, go to a lovely beach, enjoy the restaurant. But any one of these lovely, sleek-looking boats for. So when you come to Anguilla to live, after you settle down, the next thing you got to get after your house is a boat, baby. We've come back right here in the heart of Barnes Bay, just outside the beautiful Viceroy Four Seasons operated hotel. And the Wizard is getting ready to go around the first marker once again. She's going once again with her head to the north. And in a little while, you're going to see the guy leave go the small jib, the foreboom. And everything will be on the south side. They're going to start to pull all the ropes, pull in the small sail, the jib, pull in the big sail, the main sail. And there they go. They're getting ready now to come with their head to the north. As they did in the first round, they're going with their heads to the north. The Wizard is about a minute behind. The lighting piece, is about a minute behind the Wizard. And the Wizard has now pulled the jib, pulled the mainsail, and she is up the road, and she's heading back to stand the ground. And Derek in the Wizard is pouring outside to the north. He's pouring outside to the north. He's watching to see when the lighting piece is going around. He's still pouring to the north. And the Wizard is marching on an even keel going to the north. And the lighting piece is coming around the buoy now. She's coming around the marker. The lighting piece is coming around the marker now. Jib, sheet, on our side, up the road, boys. The lighting piece has now come around the marker. She's clipped the marker. They are pulling in the jib. They are pulling in the sail, trimming down the lighting piece, bung for knot in the stern of the Wizard. And the two boats are now bung for knot. Let's see what Derek will do. He's still going to the knot, and the lighting piece is coming to the knot. Still going to the knot. They are still bung for the knot. The Wizard is in front, followed by the lighting piece. And the Sonic and the Satellite has not gotten close to the marker yet to go around on this second leg. They are still some distance away from trimming to go upwind. But the lighting piece is now following in the stern of the Wizard, bung to the knot. And we've got to wait to see what Derek will do. We got to wait to see what Kenny will do. But for now, everybody's bung to the knot. And everybody is thinking, well, settle for your second place and go back. And Kenny is back. Kenny, the lighting piece, has pushed it before the Wizard down the lee side, and Derek is now saying, same time, boys. Derek has come about. Everybody now is bound back to the south. The Wizard is on the windward side, and the lighting piece is down the lee. But Kenny has made the decision here in the head of Barnes Bay. Kenny has made the decision to push it down the lee side of the Wizard. And I tell you, Kenny has some guts. And the lighting piece is marching up the road now to the south. And the Wizard is also marching up the road to the south. We are going to see what happens now. But Kenny has made a brave move to be the first to go back to the south. Kenny is not going to waste any time with this north business with Derek. He has made the decision, and Kenny has pushed it down the lee side, back inside to the south. And let's see what is going to happen here. The two boats are bound to the south now to Anguilla land, heading back to stand the ground. And we will watch. These are the moments where we separate the men from the boys now. All the little boys in the class got to go to the back of the room. This is big boys' time. Kenny has definitely sent a message to Derek. If you think you got it, I want to see today. And Kenny has pushed it in the lighting piece down the lee side in the back of the Wizard. And Kenny is down the lee side trying to see one more time on his way to stand the ground if he can get out from under the lee of the Wizard. And let me tell you, boy, Kenny is going smoking up the road. Kenny in this lighting piece is smoking going up the road. Let me see what Derek is going to do. Derek is still windward on an even keel, going nicely. But we wait to see if Kenny has made any threatening advances on Derek. Eddie has gone around to the north, and now the satellite is going around 30 seconds behind, also with a head to the north. Can't go this way, Daddy.
You can't go that way. You get that. You gotta keep your head in the way.
Well, we are watching. Every place you watch the race from could be deceiving, eh? Depending on where you're on a boat race, you could get deceived. Well, Kenny is doing his best to get in there. You telling him to get in there. He's trying his best to get in there, but he's trying to get out from under a beast, you know. It is a beast why he got over him there. That wizard, little tie there, you know. He can't do 2 shakes and get away, you know. He got to shake. Kenny know the kind of work he got cut out for him there. And Kenny is watching, he's watching back to the north, he's watching the wizard. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he wants to make another attack back north, or if he wants to just judge if he's making any gainings. Oh, and Kenny is going back to the north. Kenny has made a decision to push it one more time right here in the middle of Mees Bay. Kenny is not giving up. I said Kenny is not giving up. Kenny has made a attack one more time. Let's see what Derek will do. Let's see if Derek will also go back to the north. Kenny has gone back to the north. But Derek said, I see bags of sugar inside the ground, and I'm not as yet. He's still going inside south. Kenny is bound to the north. Kenny is doing some of everything to get out from under Derek today. But Derek gone back north now over Kenny. And I tell you, we are seeing some tacking about now in this race that we did not see on the first leg. Derek is not trusting Kenny to go to the north while he go inside to the south. Derek say, listen here, I got you under my wing, and you're going to north over Kenny. Kenny must be wondering now, what can I do to get out from under Derek? And he has got to go one more time to the computer. You got to work that. Me. I believe Kenny gonna try one more time back inside south. We're watching. Everybody bung. These 2 boats bung to the north now. Derek's. I told you earlier that there wasn't going to be any tacking about on this second leg. He's not giving up second leg. He's not write that down today when he left home. Kenny is fighting for first place. Whatever he gets, he can take it. But that is after everything is over. But nowhere in the middle of this race is Kenny settling for second. He is fighting like a pit bull for his first place prize. And they still bong not, still bong the knot. They have their bow on Prickle Pier in Dark Island. If they don't come back in the next 45 minutes, that's exactly where these 2 boats will end up, Prickle Pier and Dark Island. We are watching to see how far north we going today. We just outside. Now outside on a point. We open up center ground. I could see center ground. I could clearly see in the cove in Crocus Bay. And the two boats still bung knot. Still bung knot. Race is still close. This race is about 30 seconds apart now. We're watching to see what's happening. This moment right here in boat racing is what you call man better man. Everybody watching now to see man better man. This is all what it is now. It's coming down to pure brains, computer, engineering. And these two boats are sailing beautifully. Pong for pong to the north. Are getting closer. I'm starting to see trees on Dark Island and Prickle Pier. They're rocketing going to the north. Derek is saying if you could go north, Kenny, if you could go north, I could go north more. Because I'm in front. But Kenny said, no, Derek, I ain't going north. Kenny is back to the south again. Kenny is coming back to the south. Kenny is back to the south. Let's see what Derek will do now. But Kenny is back to the south. Kenny has pushed back to stand. And Derek is coming one time now. I'm feeling just as much as he. And under my lead, he got to get out today. He's going to need a lot of help to get out. And Derek has come back one more time to the south over Kenny. Kenny is trying his best. I give Kenny an A today for effort. He can't get nothing less than an A+ today for effort. But Derek, he got to get something more in that keel if he can get out. There's no getting out here today, says Derek. But let me tell you, Kenny is fighting the fight of his life. This is what you call no giving up. If you got a young child, leave them watch this video. They can get a good example of what you call there's no giving up. Kenny, Kenny is not giving up today. David, you put that malt on the fridge for me, back. I like them cold, icy. Yeah, that's the great Darwin Mussenden there, one of our biggest singers in Anguilla. If you come to Anguilla, you got to hear Darwin sing. Many years, he's been a great singer here in Anguilla. Lovely voice. The satellite and the Sonic on the inside of Mees Bay. The satellite right in now to Mees Bay, going up to Signature Villas, going up to the Beach House, going up to Blanchard's, going up to Carima, Eddie, going also inside south, on the inside, in third place. The Sonic is in third place, going up to Maljohanna, and has opened up some distance on the satellite. But these two greyhounds, the Wizard in the lead, the Lightning Piece, 15, 20 seconds behind. Kenny has tried 3 great tacks down here in Mees Bay, in the head and the foot of Barnes Bay. Kenny has tried. He has tried his living best today to get out, but there's no getting out today. I don't know if he'll get out, but for right now, he's not getting out. So the Sonic is now crossing the satellite. The satellite has pushed in the middle of Mees Bay coming outside, and the Sonic has crossed up by a pretty good margin. I judge it to be about 3 minutes. 3 minutes, the Sonic has crossed the satellite. So the Sonic clearly is in third place now, heading up to Maljohanna Hotel. And these two greyhounds, the Wizard and the Lightning Piece, is outside Maljohanna, going up to the foot of Long Bay, heading into Isaac Cliffs, and then into Sandy Ground. And both boats sailing pong for pong, but the Wizard is gone. And Derek is throwing water from the bow halfway up the mast. Kenny doing the same thing. These two boats scattering, going inside, scattering. You can see the water flying from the bow of these boats. Once again, like I told you, Derek is over the lighting piece. But as he gets closer to standing ground, I want him to convert that bodily distance he got windward. I want him to put it bow in stun. I want him to measure the distance for Kenny by putting his stun in front of Kenny bow. I don't like that bodily over in a boat down the lee side, sailing out from under you. So I hope Derek don't allow Kenny to sail up from under him going into the stick. But he takes some of that height that Derek now have, convert it into legs, put Kenny bow to his stun, and go home to his dry flag in that fashion. But we watching. Again, we're here in lovely Anguilla. No matter where you go in the world, you got to come to Anguilla before you decide what's really nice. Anguilla is really nice. I love a lot of Caribbean countries. I travel all about. I enjoy a lot of places. But I'm always anxious to get back to the airport and get back to Anguilla. Anguilla is just nice. And Kenny is keeling out the lighting piece. And Derek is keeling out the wizard. Up the road, baby. On it. Pulling by. Sailor. Let her go. Catch, win, and go. All of these is phrases in the boat race. On our side, boys. Slack to her. All them things you hear when you're inside an Anguilla racing boat. And these are young men, all in their 30s, highly commended. Commanding one of these boats is not an easy feat. And in my early years, I asked Tates, one of the great captains from back in the years. I raced with him mostly for most of my racing career. I said to Tates one day, I want to learn to steer this boat. So he said, no problem. So he gave me the boat a day when the wind was blowing moderate light. I said, man, you just be back here doing nothing. So I felt that, there wasn't nothing to it. You hold the tiller, the stick that control the rudder. I said, Tates, are you just back here doing nothing? So he said, no problem. So then another day when the wind was really blowing about 18, 20 knots, he said, Curtis, I want you to take a little try today. And boy, for the first time in my life, I felt what it was to have pressure. When the wind is blowing 18 to 20 knots, you don't really want the job to be steering no boat. That boat, when the wind hitting that mainsail, does be tugging for that tiller on that rudder. And it's constant pressure, constant work, constant harassment. I ball out, Tates, come for this boat. And I had never gone back to learn to steer no boat because I can't take that kind of pressure all day long. So you commend these young guys highly. Kenny, Derek, Eddie, Mumba, all these guys. You commend them highly because the job of steering a boat, being a captain of one of these boats, is not an easy task. And our boats in Anguilla are open hull, as you can see. No deck. This boat is taking water forward by the bow, and by the straws. Everywhere she taking water, all in the stun. Sometimes water does splashing. Today is a nice day, but it got some days when the sea does be going. These boats could take in 3, 4 barrels of water at a time, and you got to get it out, eh? You just hear the captain say, take it out. And the fellows who does bail these boats, you got to tip your hat to them. They got to keep the boat free and clear of that water. Otherwise, you know what happens if you get too much of water, okay? Yeah, the boat disappears. Bottom. And then you got to get people to dive it and do a lot of work. That's another exercise in itself. Something that we don't like to see, but if you ever see it, it is something to watch. It's a fantastic operation because everything on those boats that are pinned down tight, everything that is screwed tight has to be freed up by a diver. Take the mast, the boom, and then the hull comes up. Once you take the ballast, the weight out, and then you tie it to a motorboat and you pull it ashore. And while you're pulling it, you could have 1 or 2 guys bailing, and if they bail fast enough, eventually enough water comes out that the boat will float. And then you just keep bailing out the water and the boat goes ashore and you recover the boat. It's an amazing operation. We are here now outside of Isaac's Cliff, right to the head of Long Bay Beach in beautiful West End in Anguilla. And Kenny has only 25 more minutes to see what he can do. We are closing into the final moments of this race. And Derek is determined to hold on to his first place. I don't think that he's going to submit to any more tricks of Kenny. I don't think Kenny, after trying him 3 times, north and south, is going to go back to the north one more time to try Derek. You see, one of the things you have to know is sometimes when you make a tack, the other boat could trip up, could stumble and falter. But Derek has shown Kenny, if you can do it 3 times, I can do it 3 times. Kenny may just say, boy, Derek, I want to do it 4 times today. Let me see if you can do it 4 times too. But for now, they are bound inside south to Anguilla land, headed to center ground. Kenny is down the lee side, doing his best to close in on the Wizard. And Derek is sailing on an even keel on his way to his dry flag. And Kenny has gone for sheet. Kenny has gone for sheet. He is putting more pressure on the lighting piece. Kenny has gone for sheet. 3 men now hauling sheet on the lighting piece. Kenny is fighting in the last 20 minutes to see what he can do.
You're taking water to you.
Yeah.
I said taking water to you. Out of the job. Love.
He can't beat him.
Love what it's
Can't catch him again. Kenny will probably wait to see if he could make it to the flag from here. If Derek continues like that, he may be a little too high for the flag. We wait and see. Still a long distance away, a lot of sailing. Another 20 minutes or so before we complete this race. Down here in Isaac's Cliff. Down here in Isaac's Cliff, an amazing thing is happening in Anguilla. Another little beautiful beach, just like Little Bay, is taking form here in Isaac's Cliff. As the cliff keeps breaking off, the sea is taking that material from the cliff in the sand, and a few little beautiful beaches are coming up here. Amazing in this high cliff, right here in Isaac's Cliff. It's beautiful. I gotta get a boat one of these days and leave Santa Grung and come there and spend a little 45 minutes. You know, these moments are very special. You could get away to a little quiet place here in Anguilla. Oh yeah, that's living, baby. Well, Kenny went for sheet. I don't know if he got more or he got less, but he is trying whatever he could. The lightning piece has given him her best today. She has given him what she had to give him, and he did a superb job. He put Derek to the fight on this second leg 3 times. 3 times he called Derek back to the north, back to the south, back to the north, back to the south. Has not materialized into anything that he had hoped for. But this is what boat racing is all about. You just got to try. So Kenny is still in second place in the lightning piece. And the Wizard is marching up to Santa Grung. We've only got 15 more minutes left in this race. I don't know if Kenny, as yet, has conceded for second. I'm not close enough to ask him, but he is still working hard out of second place to see what can happen. Huh?
Like we had 2 fellas less.
Yeah.
Little less weight.
You think so? I ain't sure.
I think a little head of cat. Just 200 pounds heavy.
It's not easy to get out from under the lee of a beast. Derek put that big paw on him today. And
In a spell, Chuck saying in a spell.
Derek put that big paw on him today. He got to fight to get out. Bags of sugar back in boat race.
You drinking after?
I can give you,
Too much sugar and iron.
I can take 6 of them and give you 18. And this is the very last Sunday in the month of March. And we are heading for the last few days in this month of March. And we are going into April, still in Lent season. Next weekend is Easter, Good Friday, celebrated all around the world for one of the best reasons, one of the best seasons in the history of the world. And then we go into Easter Sunday, and we're going to have fantastic, fabulous boat racing here in Anguilla again. We're going to race our big boats on Easter Sunday. These same boats and many others will race from Santa Ground into Island Harbor, Festival Del Mar. Come and be a part of something great, something fantastic. Lots of music, food, fellowship, boats, and fun. And come on down, live the life. It's going to be Sunday, and then on Easter Monday, more. Have the egg bacana, normal Easter race, and goes anywhere. enjoy sunshine, enjoy love.
I gotta get a shot of wine. I gotta get it. Oh Lord, gotta get it. Too sweet to not get. Too sweet to not get.
Get an actual view of what it is to be one of the Kenny him 3 times, and he has responded home to his dry flag. He's going for us to get the boat out of the wind. That big sail that they have, nothing could trouble that. But the Wizard is in command here in the closing 10 minutes going into center ground. And it's going to be almost impossible now, unless the Wizard has an unfortunate situation, to take away first place from the Wizard today here in Anguilla in this warm-up race. We want to thank everybody for coming out, thank everybody for participating, thank everybody for tuning in. But for today, you are in Wizard country. The Wizard is on top, and there is no way you can get her down from there. The Lightning Piece has tried today. You have to shake Kenny's hand for trying today. Kenny did not concede. He made 3 brilliant efforts to call Derek in the Wizard back to the north, back to the south, back to the north. But Derek did not fumble. He did not trip up. He did not stagger. He did not delay. Every call that Kenny made, Derek answered with a big Kenny, I'm still here in the lead. So Kenny will be watching going into Easter Sunday and Easter Monday to see what he can do with Derek. But for now, there isn't a whole lot that he can do with this Wizard and Captain Derek and the crew. Derek is marching a line going into center ground now. We are now in the closing 4 minutes of this race. There are some joys that I got at boat living here in Anguilla. that I will never surrender, and boat racing is one of those joys. I love it. Never like it. I had never tell anybody in my life that I like boat racing. According to DJ Richie, we love boat racing. We love boat racing. Tell them it is our thing. Yeah, that song should be the national team song for boat race. I think DJ Richie did a brilliant job on that song. And when Koru gone, and when this gone, boat racing has got to go on. It's a beautiful song. Very futuristic. It was a brilliant, well-written song, and we need to pump it up more and push it in the tourism market. Yeah, we should be selling thousands and thousands and millions of copies of that CD for boat racing in Anguilla. Yeah, we should. It's a beautiful song. I love it. We should play it a lot more. And the Wizard in the closing 2 minutes of this race. That's the Wizard in the closing 2 minutes. That's the Wizard now in the closing 1 minute and 58 seconds. And she just catch a big crop of wind. You see that? The wind is what these boats sail by. The wind is what powers these boats. She just got a good crop of wind there, you see? Woo, she scattered. Oh, she catch another one, catch another good crop. And Derek is pulling that tiller up to his chest. He's letting her go. Derek is in the closing 1 minute of this race now. 1 minute left, 60 seconds left in this race. And we're getting ready to declare Derek in the Wizard as the winner of the warm-up race for the boat racing 2026. 2026 warm-up race. We will soon declare the official winner to be the Wizard, Captain Derek. And Derek has her gunnel. Oh, don't sink her. Aye. He just fly the sheet. Boy, he had the gunnel. He had that side of the boat in the water right almost under. Oh, la, 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 la. And they gone back on the sheet. Gone back on the sheet. Take it easy, Derek. Take it easy. After 3 hours of sailing, you can't afford to come here in the harbor in sick. But a brilliant job. The tuck man fly the sheet. Ease up the pressure on the boat, and they are back now. We are now in the final 30 seconds of this race. And you could just about ask anybody who's the winner. Everybody is going to be right in the next 30 seconds. It's going to be the Wizard. We are now in the final 20 seconds of this race. I'm seeing the orange buoys, the final closing finish line in this race. And it's going to be the Wizard all the way today. The Wizard, the Wizard, the Wizard, the Wizard.
How the captain won that tiller?
And Derek has the tiller to his chest. Derek is going through, and it is the Wizard all the way. Derek and the Wizard has done a fantastic job. Derek is now holding the tiller with his neck in a spectacular finish here inside the ground. And that's the end of the race today. The Wizard has once again dominated this race. And the Wizard has taken first place in this warm-up race here on Sunday, March the 29th in beautiful Anguilla. The Wizard has captured first place, followed almost by a minute. Here comes the Light and Peace. And I've got to see Kenny sometime this week, shake his hand, because I love a good fighter. And Kenny fought a good fight today. He called Derek 3 times. But every time Kenny called, Derek answered. Kenny, I'm still here in the lead. Kenny tried his best today to put Derek to the fight. But Derek clearly had the edge on him today. Good job, guys. Good job, Kenny. You try hard. You did well. Yeah. You can't do nothing about that, partner. He's sailing today. And that's Kenny. You're a brilliant young man. I love his style of racing. If I had to pick a captain, just for the captain, I'll pick him. But I have been racing boats for a while, and that wizard, I can tell you, when that thing is going, she going. Thank you all. It's been a wonderful day. God's blessings. We'll see you for Easter. And Clean Stream is where you get all the sweet, sweet boat racing. Bags of sugar back in boat race.
Congratulations to the Wizard. Wonderful job. Congratulations to all of the teams, the four, the four boats that were in today's race. It was a wonderful beginning for our boat racing season. Easter warm-up. Congratulations to all. Have a wonderful week.